for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Here we go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack. Minshew, that's out to his running back, Fournette. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Shark, 66 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll run on 1st down. It's Ingram. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now it's Ingram. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Ravens push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. Now Leonard Fournette trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Domata Peko, the one to get him down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and knock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 32-yard line.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Quick pass to the outside, caught by Conley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right?
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. From 10 yards out, and the Jaguars get a score closer.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 1st downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Ingram. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
56 Mike. 56.
From the gun, Jackson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back and forth first half that we've seen. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Buying time to his left. Room to run past midfield. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. They'll throw on first down to Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 33. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Jackson from the shotgun on the move. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Jackson. Roberts has it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball. get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense. Hey, 66. Kill. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Jackson now. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
To Boyle here over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
They'll try and run with Ingram. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge. and fire out.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll run it again with Fournette. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Ferguson. He's the culprit. Causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off. Let him chew up the yardage in big plays. And your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. This pass into the arms of Snead. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson steps away to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected. But a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go. It held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
56, the mic, boy, 56.
They go play action now. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood, Marquise Brown there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, 75 yards. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Calais Campbell picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
On first down, it's Ingram. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you? I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The Ravens on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Mike 56, Mike 56. Let's go, let's get this ball back.
From the gun, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That's it.
This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack on first down, Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Here we go.
It's a first down, and he's also over 190 receiving yards now. What a game. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Yeah, I got you.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson throwing again. Got a man. It's Brown. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2.
Here we go.
They'll try and run with Ingram. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2.
Ready? 6, 5, 36. Watch the run.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And an alley to run. The 20, 10, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Keelan Cole, 77 yards. And the Jaguars get a score closer. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. And it'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jackson to throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10.
You don't want it. You go tight. You got tight. You got it.
Jackson will throw again. Dancing to his left. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Check.
They'll run on 1st down. Ingram, and he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The tackle by Quincy Williams. Ingram again. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check the backer. Kill.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
The Ravens on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Watch the whip.
This is Ingram. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Switch. Shift. Check nine.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
44 is the mic. Ready? Check 52. Slam.
Running right, this is Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Minshew sets to throw. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Here we go.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
We play to win.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the draw, this is Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 7. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Down. 8, read. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Get it. Cut.
They'll run with Fournette. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Thomas. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. On 2nd down, Ingram. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Post-game report player stats.
It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points in
Finish game. Restart team stats.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Post-game report player stats.